Okay, well, welcome Team Benefit to our team call. Today is February the 2nd. I got ready to say the 3rd, but I didn't. It is the 2nd. So tonight we have an amazing guest speaker, Angie Barnes, and I have gotten to know Angie a little bit in the Team Sparta Nation Star Diamonds page. So that is, I'm echoing. Are you guys hearing me okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, strange. And she is are you still 3-star qualifying? When does that happen?
Yes. No, I'm 3-star qualifying. So that will be official on March 3rd, I believe.
Yay. Awesome. And she is also a wife and mom of 2 and the owner of a PR marketing company. And she joined in May of 2014. So that's like almost 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy good success. And she's going to talk to us tonight about kind of the danger of discounting a discount coach and giving them all the value that they truly can be as coaches. So anyway, with that, and I'm not sure if I sort of said it, but we met through a Team Sparta Nation Facebook group page, which means she is also on our bigger team, part of Team Sparta. That's correct, right? You're not like an adoptee from some other mother?
Yes. So I'm one of Julie's personally sponsored coaches.
Okay.
So yes, we're like, fifth cousins or something like that. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, take it, Angie. Thank you so much again.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me on the call. I'm excited to chat with you guys. Is anybody else in Florida or just Traci, or are all of y'all in Florida? Anybody else? Just you. Well, okay. So I was going to say, because I just want a little bit of sunshine, but it's really, it's rainy here today. But yeah, so I was thinking about this, and I kind of want to talk about value in general and where that kind of starts and then how that transfers from customers to coaches. Because I really found, I think we've all, no matter where we are in our business, we've all struggled at some point or another with the whole idea of retention, trying to, how do we explain the value of Shakeology? We love it, and when I started, it took me, here's just a little bit of a background. So, as Traci said, I have a PR and marketing company, and I was working with Julie in that realm. I had met her at the Y, and I was like, you are awesome. Like, other people need to hear about you. And I didn't know anything about Shakeology. And I told her I was just trying to get more information, quite honestly, to like write a blog. I was like, so what, give me your spiel. And she was like, well, I don't have a spiel. And so I had to do some research on my own about what Shakeology was. And I'm very, kind of, particular, like we don't have chemicals in our home. We don't use chemicals to clean. And so I just thought, well, this Shakeology stuff is just full of crap, I'm sure. And she's drinking the Kool-Aid and it's just crap. Well, I obviously did my research and I found out I was dead wrong. And I was like, oh my goodness. So it took me 2 months to even try it, because I was like, that's a lot of money. And then I was like, okay, but there's a bottom of the bag guarantee, so let me try it. I was like, I'm going to send this stuff back in 29 days, because I want to make sure that I get all my money back. And that was 2 years later. So it took me from that point an additional 8 months to even sign up as a coach. I was paying full price for 8 months. I knew how it made me feel. I couldn't quite explain it until I found a couple videos on YouTube that helped me see the value of it. So I could, people weren't really believing me when I was like, I'm not crazy anymore. I don't freak out on my kids. And they're like, yeah, whatever, you sound crazy to me. So that was kind of where my journey started. And I told Julie, I was like, my plate is full. I want nothing to do with coaching. Well, I got put into a Coach Basics group, and I was like, oh, well, look at this. I'm already sharing my shake a day because I love it. I'm already talking about PIO because I love it. So why not invite other people to come along? And that's how it took off. And so that was probably May or June. I mean, I signed up in May. So in June, and then I think it was November, I hit diamond. And then at that point, it's like, oh crap, I have a team. I guess I have to do something here. So, so that's, and then I realized I needed to share that value, because otherwise people are just going to come and they're going to get a bag of Shakeology for a month because it's a good deal that month. And then they're not going to come back. And I couldn't figure out where that disconnect was. And it comes with the value, showing the value. And I believe that showing that value truly starts when they are customers. And so one thing that I've started doing, and now we do it as a team each month, is we hold a Shakeology taste test group. And what this is, it's amazing. So it is a 6-day group. And to be in it, everybody gets the Shakeology Super Sampler. So it's a small investment. It's a $30 investment. So right there off the bat, we have already overcome that $130, objection. It's $30. They get to find their flavor. So we say, it's a great way to find your flavor. But as opposed to just handing somebody 6 packets or saying, here, get this and then try it and let me know what you think. When we do it in a group, every day we're sharing a recipe. Every day we're sharing some knowledge about Shakeology. Maybe the first day it is the video with Tony Horton called How Healthy is Your Shake? And that compares Shakeology with a $50 GNC bag. And it talks about, the differences and how the adaptogens, bring our levels up if we're down and blah, 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 all that stuff. And then maybe the next day it's talking about, maybe I shared, and I say maybe, but I actually have the outline. And so every single month I copy and paste. It's the same exact thing. And I'm happy to share that with you guys if you want to take a peek at it. Because it helps people taste it. It helps people invest on a small level, and it helps educate them. So when they are in that group, they're not just like, oh, I don't like strawberry, I'm done. But they're like, oh, I may try something else. And then even in 6 days, most of us could start to feel something. Maybe it was fewer cravings. Maybe it was a little bit more energy. Maybe it was a little less stress. So now they have a point of reference that this isn't just a coincidence, because on day 3, we talked about how Shakeology is fueling our body from a cellular level, and that's why I'm not craving things anymore. So, every day that, we are offering a recipe and information, and then obviously, asking them, well, what did you think? Or share your shake or whatever. And some groups are, amazing. Some groups are more quiet. It's just like any other challenge group, but it's so much fun to see people get really excited about it because they've heard so much about it. And now they're like, oh my gosh, and I get to try it. And what I did this month is I said, anybody who is in my group that's starting on the 8th, I will send them a packet of the cafe latte for free. So now it's a 7-day group. So so they can actually choose all, or, taste all seven flavors, which that went over really well because people are really excited about it. But again, it's not just handing somebody or sending somebody one flavor, because what if they don't like that, right? So, we create that value from the beginning. We show them why Shakeology is so much better than just a $50 bag of protein or a $10 or $20 tub like I used to get at Walmart. So starting when they're customers it makes them become advocates, because they're like, oh my gosh, this stuff is so good. And that's really where our best coaches are going to come from, when they see the value from the beginning. I don't know if Traci shared it yet with you guys, or Traci, I think it was in the Star Diamond page. Have you guys seen the Shay Stanford YouTube video about sharing Shakeology? Have you seen that yet?
I've got it and have shared it, but it's probably been a while.
Yeah. I recently saw that. I think Julie may have posted it or whatever. And I just saw it a couple weeks ago. And I, feel like I was pretty well versed and I could speak, to the benefits, but this video blew my mind, and I shared it with my team. And one coach in particular who I knew would benefit from it. I wanted to make sure that she saw it, and she was like, oh my gosh, this is what I needed. It gave her the confidence to share in a way that makes sense. It talks about how Shakeology really fills the gaps, so when we understand the value, then we can share the value with other people. So that's another resource to take a look at that. But the taste test groups have been amazing. I mean, I would say on average, I probably have anywhere from 3 to 6 or so, that are in a group, and each month at least one new HD customer and usually at least one new coach comes out of it. So it's a great way to get people in, again, at a small investment, but educating them and creating not necessarily a coach, but an advocate that then, can transfer over to a coach. Which leads me into, the whole idea of a discount coach. So I was a total discount coach. Julie actually makes fun of me. I was Premier this year. When I texted her to say, I got my call, she was like, not bad for a discount coach, huh? And I was like, I know. Like, it just happens, I mean, you get sucked in and then you just get so excited. So, one thing that we talked about I listened. Michelle Myers talked about it at the New Leader Conference, was recruiting with purpose and recruiting with the types of coaches that we want. So if we want discount coaches and only discount coaches, then that's what we're going to offer. So if we only hook them with the discount, well, what happens when maybe their spouse loses a job and now Shakeology is just another expense? Or what happens when they get pregnant and they don't know the value and the benefits of Shakeology? That's the first thing to go to the wayside. And what happens if it's just one more thing, or if they have a stockpile because they haven't been drinking it every single day? They're going to quit, right? So if we hook them, I hate that word hook. I don't like that word hook. If we are showing them the value from the beginning, not just the value of Shakeology, but the value of this business, of what it can do when their spouse loses a job. It's not, I need to cut expenses. It's, I need to work harder to make money to support my family. When, there would be no stockpile of Shakeology because they understand the value of it. So they're drinking it every day. If they got pregnant and didn't, feel like that was for them, they would still know the benefits to other people that they can share. So, really we, in the same sense, if you're like, oh my gosh, you can be a gazillionaire by being a Beachbody coach. Well, that's not really accurate right out the gate. I mean, the potential truly is huge, but if we lead with the money, and we all know it takes time to build a business, right? Just like in the corporate world, you're not going to walk in off the street making 6 figures. You have to build up. So if that person isn't patient and isn't ready or willing to put in the work, that money's not there, then they're gone, because that's what we sold them. That's what we promised them. But if we lead with a passion and a purpose of helping other people and connecting people with something that truly can change their lives. And I'll be honest, I have been part of several other multi-level marketing companies, and I truly was a discount. There was one company, I don't know if you guys know it, it's called Norwex, and it was right before Beachbody, and I love it. I mean, I still use their products religiously because it's chemical-free cleaning. I felt probably the most connected to that because I felt like, this is truly helping, improve somebody's life. But Beachbody takes it to a whole nother level, because we all know, probably at least 3 moms are on here, that we are always the last person on our priority list. And if we can feel good about ourselves, then that's just going to spill over into every single other aspect of our life. So seeing that and getting the notes from moms that hadn't put themselves on their priority list and that were starting to gain confidence and be like, that is the true paycheck. And I think when we can really talk about not just in our recruiting, but with our team, I mean, when we focus on that and not the Success Club points and not, the rank advancements, but when we really create a culture on our teams of helping other people, that's when they see the value in the business. So it all goes back to, really, truly, Beachbody's core message is helping people. And when I was at corporate last week, 2 weeks ago, I was like, literally, I was like walking through the hallways, all the clamped, because on the walls, Traci, you've been there, right? You haven't been there yet? Oh my goodness. Okay. So on the walls, well, one, I saw you on the wall, Miss Traci. And I cried when I saw you too. So there's one wall that has elite coaches. And I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh. I know 4 people on this elite wall. Like, that's crazy. Like, these are real people. Right. And the fact that your faces were on the walls, I'm feeling emotional even just talking about this, but in front of the people at headquarters every single day really spoke to me how much they value what we do as coaches out in the field. And then I turned a corner and I saw a big thing that had the names and the cities of all of the premier coaches from 2014. And I was like, holy crap, like my name is going to be up there, which I think when we're doing it, we kind of forget what we're doing, which is a great thing because, humility is awesome in this business. But when you know there are 400,000 coaches and there are how many elite? Like 150?
Last year there were 199. This year I want to say 297.
Okay. So that's like not many people. Like, that's a huge deal. It is a huge deal. And corporate really makes a big deal of that. But then the one thing that really got me was there was a whole wall. I mean, it was like lined, three picture frames deep of challengers and their success stories. And I just was like, oh, like, they're not playing around here. Like, this business is for real, from the people that sit in the cubicles to us out here. They are not playing around when it comes to helping people. And so it's being able to share that with your team and in a way that works for you. I mean, the way that I share it, the way that Traci shares it, it may be different. Every team has this different culture, but it all goes back to the value of being part of this business and realizing it is so much more than paycheck. I mean, the paycheck and the money is great because that can be life-changing and it can relieve a lot of stress. And it's an amazing, amazing blessing. But, I think the coolest part is that for us to achieve our goals, we have to help other people achieve theirs, whether that is a challenger or a coach, and I think that that's pretty powerful because I think it's very natural for us to feel like to not want to talk about our goals or for it to feel selfish or whatever, but it's really not selfish at all, because if my goal is to be, let's say, 5-star, I have to help my coach. I have to lead them. I have to show them. And if I'm doing that, then that means they're helping their coaches and their coaches are helping other people. And, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but, just creating that culture of value beyond the discount, because the discount truly, the discount is what hooked me, because I finally said, okay, I'll be a coach, because I finally convinced my husband to start drinking Shakeology. And I said, well, forget that. I am not paying full price for 2 bags a month. Sorry about ya. Not this girl here. So that's why I became it. And the idea of having my shakes covered was like, oh my gosh. And my very first paycheck filled my gas tank at a time when I truly stressed about that $60 a day. I would, kid you not, I would stand there going, okay, so which account can I use? Do I need to use 2 cards? Maybe I need to go to 2 separate pumps. Because when you work for yourself, I didn't have a paycheck coming in every 2 weeks, let alone every single Thursday. I didn't have that. And, and I was at the mercy of my clients and if they would pay on time. And if they didn't pay on time, well, guess what? My credit card company doesn't really matter because my bill is still due. So, just that first $60 check was like enough for me to keep going. And now it's like, holy crap. Like, I mean, not to say that, we're rolling by any means, but I feel like we're finally able to make some headway. So there's that part. And then Traci had mentioned, kind of never discount a discount coach, which I was. But I also think that people are really scared of the C word. I'm scared to say I'm coach. Like they're scared to come out and be like, yes, I'm committing to this. But I think it's really important for us to realize that success in this business is whatever we want it to be. So, you don't have to hate your full-time job and want to become a Beachbody coach full-time for you to be successful. You don't have to be a diamond coach to be successful. You can be successful doing whatever you want. If it's just making that $60 to put gas in your car, then that's success. And I had a coach who she truly, very adamant from the beginning, I just want the discount, blah, 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 blah. And she got about 2 weeks into 21 Day Fix. She was sharing recipes. I mean, she was coaching. And I was like, hey, our next group is starting in a couple of weeks. If it would be awesome if somebody that maybe wants to join us, I really want to wait until I get my final results so I have something to share. And I mean, and I think I'm a pretty okay, I don't want to, ruffle feathers type of person, but as a coach, sometimes we have to make people realize that they already do have a story, even without the quote unquote results. I said, well, that's cool. I was like, but you have already mentioned how much better you're sleeping. You've already mentioned that you can't believe that a 30-minute at-home workout is working for you when you are a self, what's that called? A self-proclaimed gym rat. I said, I'm just saying, those are objections or problems that other people have that you can share. Your success doesn't have to be weight loss or inches or whatever. And she was like, oh, yeah, okay, well, yeah, so she's tread lightly. Now she's emerald and she has 6 coaches underneath her. She's not yet sure if she wants diamond, and that's totally fine. Again, this month she just has, I don't know. I have a lot of other obligations and this and that. And so I've just kept her in the loop, just like any other coach. So even if you have discount coaches, you just keep them in the loop like any other coach. And guess what? In the last 10 days of the month, she hit Success Club 5. Would she have done that had I just brushed her off and said, you know what? She's not really interested. No, not, she didn't do it because I was pressuring her. She did it because I believed in her. And I reminded her that she has an opportunity to help other people, and her heart is gold. I mean, this girl is an amazing coach because people do trust her and they believe her. And that's why she's a great coach. So being an emerald coach is success for her, and it's success for me. If she chooses that she wants to move on, that's fine. I will run right alongside with her, but I'm not trying to drag anybody. And, one thing that I don't know where this came from. I mean, it came to my head, but sometimes I don't know where it comes from. But, I think so often we hear about, oh, you got to be all in, you got to be all in. But not everybody wants to be all in. Not everybody can be all in. But just because you can't be all in, it does not mean that you have to be all out either. You can make this work for you and your life and your family. It's 100% up to you. And you know what? What you want right now may be different than what you want in 6 months or in 2 years or in 5 years down the road. I never thought that in a year and a half that I would be at a 3-star qualifying. I never thought that I would have been invited out to corporate for a new leader conference. I never thought that I would be going on the cruise for free. Mind blown. And, different people come into the business for different reasons. I didn't come in to build a business. That's what I'm doing. And now I am all in because I do see the potential. And I see the impact that I'm able to have on not just my challengers' lives, but my coaches' lives. And to help them create that type of success and life is pretty stinking awesome. I'm just saying. So, but yeah, I mean, so that's kind of, what I had, if anybody has any questions about anything, but it is all about value, helping customers see the value, helping coaches see the value. And, I think a lot of times that first step is us seeing the value as well. And to do that, you guys being on this call shows that you already see the value in your business and know, what potential that you have. So
I have about a bazillion questions.
Yeah.
And since I started the call, then I get to go first.
Yes, you do.
Okay. So a quick background question. Are you still working then with your PR business, or what are your hours? Are you a full-time employee with that and part-time Beachbody? Or I'm sure people are wondering what that's like for you.
No, I do. I still have my PR business. I have about 4 or 5 clients. My goal is to kind of cut back, but right now I'm not. I'm not taking on more clients, which has kind of been nice to have that opportunity. Although every time I do that, I kind of like, so my husband's like, you're turning down opportunities, but I'm like, but I know where the greater potential is. So, so I did my office hours the other day, and I'm working probably about 30 hours a week or so between both. I have 2 kids, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. So right now they're both, in school full time, which is nice because that gives me some hours. But I have always enjoyed working. Like I enjoy working. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't mind a little bit less craziness, but it just makes me become more focused, hence my need for the brain dump each day.
So are you guys then, if you're doing your 6-day Shakeology taste test, do you also do a free group?
That's a very good question. We had been doing free groups. I lately have not. I think I'm going to do one maybe once a quarter. I was finding it was too much for me because I would have a free group at the beginning of the month, and then the next week it would be the taste test, and then it would be a challenge. And then I'm like, I didn't have time. So for instance, in February, our taste test is on the 8th, and then our paid challenge group is going to be on the 29th. So that will give us, a full week and a half for people from the taste test to then purchase and be ready to go on the 29th. So that's kind of how we've structured it. I've played around with having, the taste test at the end of the month and then, rolling in. So you could do that too. You could have the taste test the last week of the month and then have your paid challenge group in the middle of the following month as well. I mean, I think that it's good to have a couple weeks in between just so people can get through the taste test and be like, oh my gosh, I love this stuff. And then decide, what they want to do from there.
How do you promote it? Do you have a graphic that you use month after month that is, this is my Shakeology taste test, and that kind of thing? Or
yeah, I do. Hey, hang on, wait, let me get my phone. I'll see if I can pull it up.
Oh, okay.
I do. I've had some good success with this. Let's see if I have it on here.
And do you use a meal plan in it, or are they?
Oh, here it is.
Adding Shakeology or replacing a meal. Is that the requirement that they replace a meal?
No. Because I tell people because me personally, I don't replace a meal. I use it as a snack when my kids come home from school, because that's when I'm the most ravenous. So, I tell them, whenever your nutrition is the most challenged, that's when you should have your shake. So they can choose to have it in the morning. They can have it Like my husband had his tonight for dinner. That's fine. You know, one less person to complain about my cooking. Yeah. So no, I mean, we just, I just post in the morning and here is another tip that has been like a lifesaver. Does anybody use Postcron at all?
I've never heard of it.
Oh goodness. Your life is about to change here. Okay. So it's
Tell
called
me how to spell it.
POSTCRON.com.
Okay.
Postcron. So it's like,
like Hootsuite?
Yeah, it's like Hootsuite, but I could never get into Hootsuite. It always overwhelmed me. So Postcron is free. And so what I will do oftentimes, because with something like a Shakeology taste test, I know a lot of people are going to be drinking first thing in the morning. So I want that post in there at 5 a.m. Well, I'm just rolling out of bed at 5 a.m. or 5:30. So I go to Postcron and I schedule, because I have this in a Word document. So I schedule my post for those 6 days to hit at 5:11 or whatever in the morning. And then once I'm up and moving and the kids are off to school and now it's 7:15, now I can go back in and check in on those. So it's really nice for something like that. I mean, I don't plan like a 30-day group in there because I think you can only have like 10 posts pending or something like that. But it's perfect for these taste test groups that you want the post to go early in the morning. All right. So here is my graphic that I often, okay, so this was for this month. I don't know if you, hang on, let me see here. So, and I took that picture because
what did it say on the bottom? I couldn't see what it said on the bottom.
Oh, it just has my email address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I kept it kind of simple, just so I could boost it because I didn't want to have too much text on it.
Okay.
But yeah, but I use that picture. That picture was when I had like 5 kids in my house. Sorry, Tracy's like, yeah, what's new? But I had like 5 kids in my house. I was like, oh my gosh, I need my shake. And so it was just kind of, a funny picture that has just hung around. So I use it for that. I use it, that picture when I send out my thank you emails for customers, thanks for your order or whatever. So
cool. Are you ready for the next question?
Yeah, absolutely.
I told you I had a lot. Okay.
No.
So then, well, maybe that was it. Oh no, here's the next big one, and kind of switching gears completely.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've even been in this position since you're not that old of a coach, but let's say as you were talking, I was like, a lot of my discount coaches need to go through a 6-day group like this. Like they've been drinking Shakeology for forever, but they still don't know the value of it.
Right.
So half of them could split tomorrow for all I know. You know what I mean? Like
right.
It would be great to get them into a group like this.
Yeah.
What would be your suggestion on, or how do you approach discount coaches, and how would I then go to people who have been around forever and either approach them about the opportunity or just the Shakeology group so that they understand? I just think it's important that people understand what they're consuming.
Yeah, no, I agree too. I think right now is the perfect time to get discount coaches in on something like this, with Cafe Latte coming out, so I have no problem. I offered that free packet to my customers. If I had a coach that also wanted to do it, by all means, I will send you one and I will put you in that group and you will be in that group because, discount coaches, yes, they're coaches, but they're still really our customers.
Right.
So, I have to remember that, sometimes that, what, I need to check in on them and see how their journey is going, see how their, what their latest program is. So, I'm guessing that they're probably in your team page. So, I include that information. Hey, here's the link to the next taste test group. And even just, I think that you could just, message them directly and say, hey, just want to make sure we have a taste test group. This is a great time for you to check out all of the flavors and, get the new Cafe Latte. P.S., if you want to invite somebody to join, great, and I always say, and I can help you put them I can help you put them under you so you're benefiting.
Okay.
So yeah. Because I've actually had, just with the buzz of cafe latte, I've had a lot of discount coaches be like, "Oh, I want to try that. I want to try that." So I'm like, cool.
Okay. I really haven't done anything with cafe latte.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my tip. I'm a vegan chocolate drinker. Okay. So you may have the same issue that I had. So I had one whole packet and it was delicious, but I kid you not, I mean, like within minutes, like sitting here, I could hear my stomach churning because of the way I was like, oh, but it tastes so good. So this weekend I did a half a packet of cafe latte and a half a scoop of vegan chocolate. And that was good. It was not as like gurgle free as vegan alone, but it wasn't like we're going to have an emergency. So, yeah, so you can try that.
Cool.
But it is really good. It is good. I like it.
Nice. Other people want to hop on?
Any other questions?
Yeah, I think I'm done with my list.
Oh my goodness. I clicked the Brady Bunch view. There are so many more people that popped on.
How do you, I'm not sure I even know how to do that.
The little, see where it says speaker view? Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I know.
Everybody say cheese. Okay.
Okay. Do you have a Mac?
Yeah.
Do you have a Mac, Tracy?
Yes.
Oh, she's frozen.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I can see other people. So if anybody else has any questions, but I would definitely encourage getting together and doing a Shakeology taste test group because it's awesome. It is awesome.